Coming up on the box office weekend report, we have a new number one, and clearly will be in my probably top 10 of the top 25 movies of the year. I think it was one of the best movies of this year. And I got some good news and a lot of bad news again. Man, Hollywood's got to stop. Let's go.
Let's fucking go. Here I come. Here I come.
We will watch your career with great interest.
You are such a kid.
This is where the fun begins.
It's showtime.
And here we go.
Welcome into another episode of the Movie Geek Podcast. I'm your host, George T., and this is the weekend box office report. And before I get into anything, I just want to shout out my inspiration for doing this podcast, and she is my muse. She is the very lovely Ashley, my empress, and it is her birthday today, so happy birthday, my empress. And before we go any further, I just wanted to get that out of the way. Alright, so we've got box office report and some other movie news that just boggles my mind. But let's start with the box office. We got at the number 5 position, we had last week's number 2, which was Reminders of Him at $8 million. Number 4, and somewhat of a bomb already, we got Ready or Not 2, Here I Come. Look, made 9.1. Is it a sequel that we really needed? No. Will I see it? Yes. Sarah Michelle Gellar is in it. I have to see it. Kind of obligated. I really like Sarah Michelle. I know I probably would never see her at a Comic-Con, but if I did, I would be so elated. And of course, if she came on the show, but that would never happen. Number 3, Durana the Revenge. Did not have this one on my review last week, so I don't know where it came from. But interestingly enough, it made 9.5 million, and it was only shown in 987 screens. Very interesting. Very interesting. Last week's number 1, Hoppers, falls to 2 at 18 million. So 2 weeks in a row, stays up there and still makes 18 million in the second spot. And number 1, my number 1 for this month, and so far probably going to be in, I want to say the top 5, maybe top 10, depending on what other movies shocked me along the way. Obviously, there are 3 big movies that I want to see still to come, so unless they disappoint, I cannot imagine this movie will not be in my top 5. But Project Hail Mary at 80.5, what an amazing movie. I did the review for it. If you didn't see it yet on Monday, go back and check that out. It is definitely a film worth seeing. A couple of quick notes. We're going to have, GOAT went from 5 to 7 at 3.5. Scream 7 went from 4 to 6, 4.3. And Undertone went from 3 to 8 at 3 million. Now, Undertone is getting a lot of criticism. And look, I know it was touted as one of the scariest films of the year. Again, as I preferenced, Undertone can be scary. There are a lot of people that do not like to sit at home in the dark by themselves. Or there are a lot of people that hear audible noises in their house and get scared. So yes, this movie does not have the gore or the slasher or that jump scare that really gets to you, but this can be scary. I do recommend seeing it. It's not as scary as you're expecting, but it can be frightening. There are some loopholes or whatever, but I also want to mention it that it has made a ton of money, and on a small budget of like 500,000, it's already made $15.2 million in just 2 weeks. So that is a huge profit. Very much like a lot Iron Lung earlier on, um, but low budget films are making money. So key to Hollywood right now: make small budget films that can draw an audience. So, all right, quickly, let me just go through them one more time. Reminders of Him, 8 million. Ready or Not 2, disappointingly 9.1. Dehorndra, The Revenge, 9.5. Hoppers, 18. And Project Hail Mary, 80.5. That is your top 5 for last weekend. Today on Prime, we've got Pretty Lethal. 5 ballerinas find themselves in a fight for their lives when they seek shelter at a mysterious roadside inn that's run by a former ballet prodigy. Uma Thurman and Lena Headey headline this movie. I will check it out, and I will either do a review or I will add it to some of the other movies that I've seen, depending on how good or bad it is. I'm not sure yet. Then we got in a very small release coming on Friday, so the rest of these are going to be Friday. There's a movie called Yes. This is an Israeli film. A jazz musician and his dancer wife, Jasmine, offer their artistic talents to help their nation. The musician is tasked with composing a new national anthem. Without being political, I don't know how well this movie is going to be received here in the States right now. So, all right, let's look at another foreign film, a German film called Continental 25 with a K instead of a C for Continental. One day, Ursula is a baffle in Transylvania. She has to evict a homeless man who lives in the basement of a downtown building transformed into a luxury hotel, and an unexpected event suddenly confronts her with her contradictions. So it is a little crazy type of movie, but this will be also in very limited release. And then we've got A Magnificent Life. This is a French anime film following the life of Pagnoli, a playwright, novelist, and filmmaker who grew up in a middle-class household in Marseille and became one of the world's most innovative and prolific artists from the 1930s to the 1950s. So I saw the trailer for this and I saw the poster, and George was asking about it. And I said, well, it's a French anime, going to be small release. It is based on this playwright, and so, but it will be in limited release coming out. We have a movie called Refuge. 4 estranged friends reunite on a fishing trip to mend their fractured bonds, only to be torn apart when one, a desperate father, accuses one of them of being connected to his daughter's disappearance. So this is, one of those mysteries, and it looks pretty interesting. Our hero, Balthazar, played by James Martell, attends a private school in New York, where he spends his nights performatively condemning gun violence in front of a ring light, mostly in the hopes of impressing his crush. But when Baltazar receives a series of alarming messages from an online troll who may be planning a school shooting themselves, Baltazar travels to Texas to confront the commentator. So, um, again, these school shooting movies, it's kind of rough to watch, but this will be in very limited release. And then we've got Holy Days, a lost boy in search of heaven, three odd nuns on a mission, a car powered by God, and stolen money. This is a road trip like no other, a comedic near tragedy that keeps going south. Judy Davis, Jackie Weaver, and Miriam Margolyes play the old nuns. This looks pretty funny, so I'll probably see it when it gets to streaming. Then we have a movie called Fantasy Life. A law school dropout becomes a babysitter for his psychiatrist's three granddaughters. He soon falls for their mother, a once promising actress who's stuck in a rocky marriage. Amanda Peet and Matthew Shear star in this film. Good to see Amanda Peet on the big screen again. Then we've got on Hulu. This looks pretty wild. I'll definitely review this. Again, I might do it as a standalone, or I might do this as a collaboration. But Mike and Nick and Alice. Two friends navigate the dangerous world of organized crime, testing their loyalty and survival skills as they get deeper into the criminal underworld. However, Vince Vaughn, James Marsden, and Elisa Gonzalez are in this film. She's in a lot of films this year so far, and I'm all about that. She's been a good actress, and so Vince Vaughn plays himself twice in this film as Nick. So Alice is Elisa Gonzalez, and obviously James Marsden is Mike. So this looks pretty wild, and I'm hoping it is good as its trailer. And again, I'm not sure if I want to do outright movie review for it or just a collection of movies that I've seen that I can just blend together. A documentary coming out about AI. It's called The AI Doc, or How I Became Apocalypse. I have no idea. Hoping to figure out what's happening with artificial intelligence, a father-to-be embarks on an eye-opening journey to learn more about the most powerful technology humanity has ever created, and what's at stake if we get it wrong. So it is a wild documentary, and I'll definitely try to see it. Then a movie called She Dances is also coming out. A struggling single father tries to reconnect with his distant teenage daughter while chaperoning her at a regional dance competition in the Southeast. Ethan Hawke, Stephen Zane, Mackenzie Ziegler, and Audrey Zane star in this film. So it's a little tongue-in-cheek kind of comedy, and I mean, Stephen Zane and Ethan Hawke alone probably make this movie, so definitely a watch. Then we get a movie called Forbidden Fruit. Free Eden employee Apple, played by Lily Reinhart, secretly runs a witchy femme cult in the basement of a mall store after hours. When a new hire challenges their performativity, sisterhood, the women are forced to face their own poisons or succumb to a bloody fate. Kind of a wild kind of a movie. So um, I'll wait till it comes on video or on streaming. Showing my age here. Finally, we get They Will Kill You. This even looks even crazier. If you thought Ready or Not was crazy, this or The Hunt, this one looks even wilder. Think Kill Bill, Ready or Not, just stylistically wise, just out there. A woman answers a cryptic ad for a housekeeping job at a luxury yet for, foreboding New York City high-rise. Upon arrival, she discovers residents have vanished without a trace for decades, fueling whispers of a satanic cult lurking in the shadows. Zazie Beetz, Heather Graham, and Tom Felton star in this film. So um, I saw the trailer for this with George, and George thought it was just wild. It is. It looks really wild. Um, and again, like I said, in the vein of Kill Bill or Ready or Not. So those are your box office movies for this weekend. I do not think any of these will challenge um, Project Hail Mary. I think Project Hail Mary will hang on for another week, which is hopefully maybe a trend for #1 movies, as you know they get at least 2 weeks in between, you know, getting knocked off. Because again, I've seen a lot of movies this year already, and 2026 has not produced a whole lot, in my opinion, as far as good movies until Project Hail Mary. And Send Help was the only other one that I found that was interesting enough to probably be in my top 25 by the end of the year. Other than that, a lot of them have just kind of fallen by the wayside. As you know, I reviewed a bunch so far, and it is what it is. I'm also doing trailer reviews now, so that is a different part. I'm trying out to see how, you know, I can build an audience. So definitely check those out. I might not be good at it, but I don't know yet, so we'll see. Finally, let's go over the news one more time. We've got 2 really bizarre updates and 1 really good one. Well, let's start with the bizarre. So, supposedly in the works, we're going to get a Speed 3. And yes, Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock are back. Do we really need another Speed movie? Why is Hollywood so against trying to be original or resurrecting franchises that clearly just don't need to be resurrected or sequeled? My God, what are we doing? Resurrection. We've got Halloween. Yes, Halloween. I just said Halloween. Didn't we have enough of Halloween with the whole last trilogy that was on Peacock for free, and some people actually went to see it in the theaters? Like, my God, what are we doing? Well, apparently, Halloween, Blumhouse and Universal want to revitalize the franchise. The studios are looking for new directors, and Jenna Ortega seems to be their first choice to be the new Laurie Strode. Look, I love Jenna Ortega, and she probably will do a good job with it. However, do we need another Halloween movie? No. Anyway. But the best of the news is Ghost Rider. Yes, MCU Ghost Rider. And no, it will not be Nicolas Cage, who was the original Ghost Rider in the Sonyverse. Ghost Rider is rumored to be coming to Phase 7. And guess who is taking the role of Ghost Rider? Ryan Gosling. I love it. I love it. Ryan Gosling, with his Project Hail Mary success, I love the idea of him playing Ghost Rider. I do. I mean, there are other choices out there, but Ryan Gosling being signed to it, okay, sign me up for it. Sign me up. So, that is your quick box office report for this Wednesday. Got a lot of stuff to see, a lot of trailer reactions as well. I hope you guys do like them. I know I jumped on the Spider-Man one, and you guys loved all that Spider-Man stuff, so I thank you for that. So, with that being said, I want to say it one more time. Happy birthday to my Empress, Ashley. I love you, baby. And that is all. I will see you all at the movies.
You like that, baby? Let him know where I came from, yeah!
See you next time. Bye.
Waiting for you. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Hasta la vista, baby.
That's all, folks.